Good evening, everybody. Welcome. My name is Jeff. Welcome new subscribers. Welcome returning subscribers. Welcome, everybody. It's Sunday night late, but I have a list of things that I want to get through, and want to get this video up for you tomorrow morning. So we're going to talk about Craigslist. I'm going to show you how I use Craigslist. It's nothing revolutionary, but it's taken me a while to kind of figure out my method, because you have to relist your items every 45 days. Sometimes the pictures disappear. I don't really understand. I have a system that works for me, and I want to share a little bit of what I do, and maybe you can incorporate that in if you choose to do local sales. We're going to talk a little bit about eBay reset numbers. I'm going to show you my back office, just kind of what's going on, because I didn't do the reset for almost a little over a week, and some interesting thing happened, and I want to see if anyone else has noticed anything about this phenomenon that I had noticed. We're going to talk a little bit about a viewer experience with a feedback, and we're going to get caught up on what I sold on Maria's store, and I'll show you what sold on my store over the weekend really quick, and then we'll be caught up. Everything is packaged. I basically did not go anywhere today. I was very busy packaging. I did do the reset on my store. Had some phone calls with potential sellers on District. Well, not just potential, with sellers on District. I had the most challenging thing I've ever packaged in my life. It took me like way too long, probably like 85 minutes to get this thing done. You'll see that. Basically, it's a picture. It has glass in it. I didn't quite have an exact box. That was not fun. But, and then a few other little off-topic things that I want to talk about. I think that's a good, I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff in here. And, yeah, let's get to it. One thing I want to kind of ask you guys what your thoughts are. I watched Polish Pete's, hashtag Polish Pete, inside joke. He did a really great video on promoted listings. I don't fully claim to understand everything about them. I don't even understand everything that he is suggesting. The one that sticks out with me, and I'm hoping maybe he goes into more, I know he's going to do a follow-up video to this, is about the either or. It's either organic or it's promoted. Now, I'm noticing that a lot of my sales right now, probably a good 75% of them, are promoted listings. And I can't help but feel very suspicious of it. Because why would it be either or? It should be both. And then it got me thinking about search, because I still do get organics. But we all know how search is broken. And I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe some people will have some opinions on it. We all know eBay wants to get sales via promoted listings. And maybe search is broken to do just that. This is just a conspiracy theory. I just, sometimes I have thoughts. I just want to share these thoughts with you. But think about it. If search was working properly the way it used to be, it would generate more organic sales. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, this saying it now out loud, it sounds dumb, but I don't know. I mean, when I look at like other sites and how search works on other sites, like for example, District, or even Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, you search for things, you find them. You find exactly what you're looking for. And it seems like the more narrow you get, you do not get narrowed results. So maybe it's by design. right? We all, like, maybe they just want to create this web on eBay that is just feeding everybody down the promoted listings hole. I mean, I want to, just like what Pete was saying is, he wants to reduce his promoted listings. My sales have been very good. This is probably the best December that I've ever had, which, take that with a grain of salt. I don't normally have good Decembers because a lot of the times the people are not buying the things in my store, like the collectible type things. They're not buying them for gifts. They're like, after Christmas is when I normally see, like January of this year. I haven't checked my stats, but I think January is my best. Well, because December's not over, but the last couple of weeks have just been phenomenal. But January is my best year of the month so far, of the year so far. But there's still a lot of December left. And where was I going with this? I swallowed like a pelican. Oh, the promoted listing, the trap. I swallowed it. Man, Pete and his sayings. He could be a sketch show. All the sayings and everything that he has, and the way he says it, like straight face, it's classic. He would have people laughing all day, but and he does. But anyhow, I digress. I don't want to touch my promoted listings, but it was just a thought that I had. And then another thought that I had was, because I did do the reset today, and I'm going to show you my data on that. And my impressions are the highest that they've ever been today. Ever been since doing the reset on October 10th on my store. And it got me thinking again, maybe the eBay reset, could it actually help eBay out? Because it's generating all these new impressions, and eBay kind of has like a quota that they have to meet for promoted listings. They have to give people X amount of impressions now to justify the promoted listings fee. So in a strange way, it would be very ironic if the eBay reset was actually helping eBay with its promoted listings quota of the impressions that it needed to give out. All right, so this goes back to when I first started doing the reset, just so you can kind of see some historical information. You can clearly see, just kind of where you can clearly see each day of the reset. I don't know what happened there. Reset day one, and then this was the last reset that I did on the 24th when I ran out of listings. So basically I had too many listings in the not the categories that I was getting, I think 50,000 free listings in. So I basically ran out, and I didn't do the reset from there all the way until today. And then you can see today has been just, I don't know why. I don't know if not doing the reset for essentially 11 days and then doing the reset gave it a boost. I had never gone that long without doing it. So question number one for the audience: has anybody gone a couple weeks after doing consistent resets, every 4 days? And then what happened when you did the next reset? But here's also something that was interesting, is that page views have been going down, but yet the quantity sold has been going up. I thought that was a strange anomaly. And then the day that I get all these impressions, it's semi, it's not great. But I did have a really big sale today that kind of skews my perception of how good of a day today was. So I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to see if anybody had noticed any correlations between not doing the resets. What happened for the next week, 2 weeks? Do you see your quantity solds going up? Is this just a fluke because sales were kind of starting to languish a little bit. So just an observation on there. And then the performance, this goes back from the very first day I did the reset. You can see I'm still up 44% versus the prior time period. So I guess basically when you compare the last 7 weeks to the last 7 weeks prior to that. So, I mean, it's definitely helping. My selling costs have gone up. I think they were hovering around just a touch under 16%. So they've gone up a little bit. 2%'s it's not the end of the world. And I was just now thinking that the longer promoted listings is in existence, the less effective it is going to be. 100%. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have people that their sales are suffering, and they're going to start slowly edging up their promoted listings. So for all the people that are resistant, my measly 6% on my store, 5% on my wife's store, as those people who are at 2%, or, we know eBay's going to raise it. They're going to raise the minimum to, it's either going to be 3 or 5. You watch. I don't know which one. They might do 3 so they have more room to move it up in the future, or they may just be they may just go for a real cash grab and be like, oh, minimum's 5. But I have no doubt that it's gonna be raised. I don't know when, but as those other people who are at 2% start to bump up their increases in promoted listings, then people who are promoting, around 5 or so, they're gonna see a decrease in traffic because the sales are gonna start to be diverted to other people. It's possibly the most destructive force that eBay could have possibly unleashed on us to make us compete in ads. Well, they call it advertising, but it's really just placement. To do away with organic, to make it a dysfunctional search site. I just don't know how this is going to play out. All right, so this is Maria's store. I wanted to show you guys something that I cannot figure out. So this is going back to October 12th, when the first day I did a reset. You can see boom, 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 all these. And then I've never stopped doing the reset on her store. But you can see these page views are significantly down. So this was the reset day. I believe this one was. I don't know if maybe there was a time where I took a break, but I don't really. I remember. Here's when I was resetting a quarter of my store, and I did that until that day. But so you see, these page views didn't really do anything. So what did it translate into quantity sold? So around this time, I was having some really low days. So it's it started out decent. And then after about 5 days of really low sales, this was 1,110, 4 sales in 4 days. How does that happen? Right around, the cyber. I mean, maybe people were just shopping everywhere but on eBay during the whole. Well, no, the cyber Monday was over here. So I don't know. But then I went back here. But you can see the first day reset. Then I think this was my first day reset, and then I did a reset a day ago, and really no bumps in the first day. Well, the first or this, it's broken from this pattern. I don't know what to think. If I was just looking at this account right here, I would have thought, oh, maybe they've done something to mute the reset. But then I still hear new viewers all the time. Just one yesterday was saying how They've started doing the reset for the first time, and I think they've done it twice, and they got a ton of sales. I mean, they reported like 40 plus sales over the period that they did it between resets, or what they experienced after the reset, and then they did another reset and they had another 40 sales. So people are still experiencing really good results. I find that when people do it for the first time, that is when you get the biggest bump. But has anybody else noticed any patterns like this? This is where a community is invaluable to not be on your own and just have your own data. That's why I show my data. So you guys can look at it, you can compare and contrast, you can report back, you can share, not share. But the more people share, the more data that we have, the more we can come and draw conclusions and adjust our tactics. And yeah, so what was the other thing I wanted to show? Performance and sales still up from the same time period. Everything is still up, everything is green. I can't complain about that. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to show this for transparency's sake, what's been going on. I do like to give updates, and so you guys can see what's going on in my business. Okay, so we're going to move on to Craigslist, and I'm going to share with you kind of how I keep track of my Craigslist listings, how I go about relisting them, a little bit of a hack. It's not really a hack, but it's a way that I have found to save time, because with Craigslist, you have to relist your items every 45 days. Now that can be a pain. 45 days comes up a lot quicker than you expect it to. So the first thing that I do once a day is I will go into my Craigslist. I'll go to active, and I'll go to the last listing that I have, and basically it shows here that I have 6 listings expiring today. So you definitely always want to relist them before they expire. You just delete, repost, publish, and it's done. Or you can make changes to it. Oops, I don't want to do that. Well, what am I doing here now? So you go back here, or you can adjust the pricing. You can delete it if it's not selling. I'll add something to it to make it more appealing. Adjust some keywords if you think, I'm always learning about keywords and things that I feel will cast a wider net for people who are looking for something. But okay, that's the first thing you do. Now, how I arrange my, I keep track, because if you don't do this, if you don't delete this, if you don't renew it, then it will go to inactives. And I don't know why sometimes the pictures just disappear. I guess it's probably how Craigslist kind of, keeps their server from being full of everybody's pictures, but sometimes they just delete. For like the first year, it was so frustrating because I didn't quite realize how everything worked with Craigslist. I would lose the pictures, and then the listing's essentially worthless if it has no pictures. I would have to retake it. So what I started doing is I started keeping track of my pictures in a folder on my desktop, and inside that folder I have 2 folders. I have 2 folders inside one folder. One is multiple. What that means is it's a listing that has multiple pictures, and then 2 are just singles. I don't know why I did this, but this is just how I did it, and I'm just sharing, so you can take it however you want. But so single is essentially like I've numbered them 01, and then 01 is it's a Gibson's shot glass, I think. 02 whistle, this is a manga. But basically, so now I can go to my Craigslist, I could type in 02, and here's whistle. Here's this listing. Now, so if this happened to expire and the pictures deleted, once every 5 or 6 months, I will go through my listings, and I will make sure that all of the listings are actually the way they are supposed to. And it's just something, practice I get. So I will check to make sure all of these actually have pictures. It's not really, it doesn't take as long as it seems. It's also a time, sometimes I sell things and I forget to take them down, so I can do that. So yeah, so if the picture was deleted, I can just go to my folder, and there it is, and I can just re-add it. Now, this brings me to my other the multiple folder. So I finally got wise. So what I started doing, and this is the kind of the hack. Instead of having one listing for one thing, I've decided to start doing one listing with multiple things. So instead of having to, so I'm slowly phasing out my singles for things that I sell a lot of, like manga, or I don't sell comics on Craigslist, or like new plushes. I'll have one listing, like for example, I have one listing, A14, that has all of these plushes. So if you go to Craigslist and you go to A14, you'll see this listing, and it'll have you know, this corresponds with that, this corresponds with that plush. And so basically, because when you're searching on Craigslist, if you search this, let's just do it. This listing will come up. So in Craigslist, it will search, it will go in, it won't just search the title, it will actually search the description, which is awesome, which is the way search is supposed to be. Like if you are searching for Rilakuma, whatever this is, plush, you know, you should get just that. So basically, instead of having one listing for each of these individual ones that you have to delete, that you have to renew, that you have to make sure is still there. So you can basically, for items that have commonalities between them, these are all plushes, that's what links them. I can do one listing, I can just, you know, I can renew just one listing. So I can have, you know, if I have 10 or 11 items in one listing, that's as good as having 10 or 11 items, like 10 or 11 single listing items. The key is to just be organized, to categorize certain things like women's clothes, caps, oh, here's the other thing. I didn't think it all the way through. So for example, A1 was art. So I started out with just F. F was just one item. Folder 1 was like Winnie. Folder 2 was this Cambodian. This is way too heavy to ship. It's a really cool piece that I got at an estate sale. But yeah, I don't know why I'm showing you this. So I used to just do one item per folder. But then, you know, after you get so many, I started doing a little bit of combining. I would do shoes. I would do different shoes on one listing, but then I'm like, okay, I need to redo my whole thing. So then I started with A1. So, but then once the A1 filled up, then I was like, okay, I can only put X amount of pictures in one listing. So for example, if you go A1, you're going to get, which one? Oh yeah, so this is A1. So I got to a point where you can only put, I think, 24 pictures inside one Craigslist listing. So then I'm like, okay, well, I want to keep all my art together. So then I put A1-1 art, and then it filled up. And then, so then I went A1-2. So it's just how I have found a way. I found a system that works for me, that I just wanted to share with you guys, because instead of having one listing for each of these pieces of art, I can just have, you know, three listings under the A1 art category, and there's probably 25 to 30 pieces of art inside that that master folder, I guess you want to call it. So I'm gonna leave it here, and you guys can digest it. You can ask me questions. You can let me know if this was useful, if it was completely useless, because I know many people don't want to do local sales. It really depends too where you live. If you live somewhere remote, it might not be as lucrative. It might not be worth your time. If you live in a bigger city, I think it would definitely be worth your time, in my opinion, because you have more people that are looking for things that maybe don't want to buy online, or they're looking for deals, and depending on what you get your stuff for. So yeah, I was thinking I wanted to share this with you. I hope it didn't come off too scatterbrainy. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Another thing I almost forgot that I wanted to share is a huge benefit to having your local items in an organized fashion like this is, let's say I go into my poster folder and I have this listed on Craigslist and I want to go ahead and list it on Marketplace. I can just copy the listing of how I describe it, know that these photos are in A12, and I just copy paste and then put the pictures in, and done. The listing's done. If I had, you know, items like, say, plushes, like this is listed on District. If I wanted to add this plush, I would just go to my Craigslist listing in A14. That's how I would find it. Copy that copy that title. Pictures are right in here. I know exactly where they are. I can just go and list it. In fact, I do want to actually show you guys how easy it is to list on District. I do have something that I just sold something on my account. This Bud Light poster. I've got like a whole sheet of these. So this is a good thing to list on multiple platforms, since I have multiple copies of this. So let's show you how easy it is to list on District. You just go to list item, add the image, add the title, get the description, add the price, add the shipping. And I'm sure at some point they're going to have like shipping policies. And then any tags that I want to add. Do I have anything? I think I need to add. I'm still in the process of adding tags to the marketplace. So let's just leave it at that. And then here it shows you, this is what the sale is. This is what you pay in your processing fee, and the marketplace fee. This is what you will earn. Like, it's so easy. It's so easy to do. And then if I had another poster that I was going to list right away, it would be even quicker, because I wouldn't have to go in and adjust the shipping and handling like I did on there. I could just basically sell similar from that listing, and it pulls that shipping information in, and it's done. It's that easy. So, all right, guys, that's enough of that. One little side note, there have been 3 sellers that have joined Hey Pop Culture over the last 3 days, so that's exciting for those of you wondering. And I have a call tomorrow. I need to speak to somebody, and then there's another person on the channel who has expressed interest. I'm just waiting for him to reach out. So this is still on my store. We're gonna get caught up from the other day. This will be quick. This sold for 18 and change. I accepted. I've got lots of those. I accepted an order and he canceled immediately. I was just like, okay. And this is the big ticket item that sold today that I accepted an offer for $450, and I'm actually selling this. It's kind of consignment, I guess you would call it. I'm selling it for a friend. I've had it forever. I think he ultimately wanted more, but I mean, I think I've had this since, I want to say, like sometime during COVID. And I was hoping to sell it locally, and I just decided to accept an offer. And so yeah, that's the big item that sold today. He-Man's you saw already. This was an upsell. Somebody bought a $9 comic, and then he added another $6. And then the Stella Artois, is that how you say it? I'm not really sure. The French language eludes me. I accepted an offer for $15 on that. So let's go over to Maria's store. These Pokemon card holder, they're kind of like Burger King Happy Meal toys. I sold 7 of those for $25. Everything is plus shipping if you're new and you don't, everything has shipping. I am a big anti-free shipping person. This DVD, this is what this sold for. These Teledon, I had no idea what these buttons were. Apparently it's like an old computer company, because the guy who bought them accepted an offer for $20 on these. I might even have more of these. I haven't even gotten through the last button lot that I've purchased, but I was happy to get $20 for these. He only buys computer parts, and if I knew Primo's channel, I would have been like, go to my friend's. I'm sure he has old computer parts, but I don't know what his eBay store is. I sold 4 of these Innocent Gun stem glasses for $32 plus shipping. He hasn't paid yet. Everything that I've sold this weekend is packaged up. This is the one order that I'm waiting on payment. I wonder what his feedback is. I wonder if he's a newbie. I often find these very inexpensive at thrift stores, sometimes as low as like 50 cents or garage sales. And I've got I find that they sell, they take a while, but there's a demand for them. This was interesting. This keychain, wait, was it this keychain? I think it was this keychain. I sold this to somebody in my hometown in Pennsylvania, and we struck up a conversation, and he knows who I am. I was blown away by that. Well, not blown away, but I was blown away that I don't know who he is, but he knows who I am. And he graduated like 12 years after me, so it's not like we had, but I did find him on Facebook, and we do have a couple common friends, so small world, right? That's the first time I've ever sold something to my hometown. I thought that was really cool. It was cool to have a little conversation with a customer. This was a complete garbage sale. 2 comics for $3. I don't even know, this. I must have had this in my store forever. It's probably been decreased so many times. Could not upsell them. The guy pays $3.50 for 2 books, pays like $5 something in shipping and handling, and he doesn't even think that he wants to potentially add anything else. I guess this was the only thing he wanted on eBay right now. Wizards magazine, it's sealed. That sold for $15 going to Canada. I could be off $1 or $2 in these, but I have a pretty good memory. I think we all know what we buy and what we sell things for. Marvel Age, this sold for $18. It's cool. It's like the first appearance of He-Man in comics. I don't know why this book is not worth more. It's very possible that it's a high print run. I sold 2 hats. One was they were both penguin hats actually. But the other one, this one was brand new. It's a really cool hat actually. And then the other one has some damage. I was actually going to keep the other hat. Let me show you. I'm not a hockey fan. It's got wear. It was actually like I wore it for a little while, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't really keep anything. Let me just pair it with this. So, someone who's a Penguins fan, maybe they get one hat that is brand new, and then they get one hat that they just kind of wear, as a beater hat. This button sold for this. Wait, I think I accepted a $10 offer on this for Labor's Cause. I don't know anything about that. This guy bought all 3 of these books. I think I accepted like a 4 or 5, and then I think this is what he paid for it. I'm pretty sure that was that guy. Yeah. This is the first gay marriage in comics. Another keychain, another patch, another one. So this was this is one keychain. So this was like a multi-quantity order. A patch. Virginia Beach. I think this is there were multiple patches in this, and I think because I deleted the patch that he bought, I think it deletes it from there. So that did not. I don't think this is the patch that sold, but it was a state park of some sort. I don't know. An Australian Formula One sold for 15. I think it was an even 15. No, it was 10. And the guy took like 5 days to pay. I was just about to cancel when he paid. And I think we're all caught up because I think I showed you guys this book sold for $40. But yeah, that's kind of what my sales have been doing. All right, the last thing I want to talk about, guys, is BBE. Psych, I don't want to talk about that. I want to be the one YouTuber who doesn't talk about it because it doesn't need to be talked about. It's common sense. That's all I got to say about that. But feedback. I got an email from a viewer, and he shared with me an experience that he had. He had sent me screenshots. I asked him to send me screenshots, and I was going to show them, but I can't find the email now. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I have no reason to make this stuff up. And this is kind of a follow-up addendum to a couple videos ago. I was talking to you guys about something that happened to me with my feedback. Somebody left a neutral because he wanted it to be shipped. He wanted a comic to be shipped in a specific Gemini mailer. It didn't state in the listing that it was shipped in a mailer. He didn't request it. You shouldn't be able to leave feedback based on things that you would like to have happen in the world. I want world peace. Does that mean I can buy something and I can say, well, we don't have world peace? Neutral. That is completely preposterous for me to even speak out loud to think that I could do that. But it's getting that silly that eBay doesn't use common sense when it comes to feedback. It's like they want to wash their hand. They want us to be held to a certain standard, but they don't want that standard to be held to them. And they want to wash their hands of having to, get into the feedback revision game when it's clearly warranted. And I caught some slack for that. They're like, oh, it's only a neutral. Why are you complaining about that? That doesn't affect your seller's performance. That's not the point. The point here is that eBay has no common sense when it comes to feedback. And buyers are stretching and leaving comments that are completely not relevant to the buyer's experience. And it's actually causing a bad seller's experience, a BSE. All right, so the viewer had sold an instruction manual to a video game. He sent me a copy of the listing. I checked it out. It is just the instruction manual. It is a book. The feedback was the game skipped at, and I'm paraphrasing, the game skipped at minute 2 something. I had to reset the game. I couldn't play through it. Neutral. The dude didn't sell him a game, right? Now, the seller, he contacted eBay. They denied his request to have it removed. Okay, that is absolutely preposterous. That feedback like that is being left. Now, the seller did contact the buyer, and he was able to get it. I'm sure maybe he bought the game from someone else, and then he bought the book from this particular seller, and he got it confused. Mistakes happen. But the fact that eBay literally declined that to be removed, it's just getting worse. It's getting worse and it's getting worse, and it's no fun being accused of something when you didn't do it, right? So that's all I'm trying to make a point that it's the whole feedback thing is just, it's getting silly. It's getting silly, and it's what's that word? What's that word when you, it's like defamation almost. It's like you work hard to do the best job that you can as a seller, and then somebody can just come along and say whatever they want within, as long as they're not you, as long as they don't swear or try to extort you, everything else is fair game, and that's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and eBay needs to do better with I know they want to cut back on having employees, and they want to make it difficult for sellers to call in, but how come nobody's talking about the bad seller experience? I mean, I'm just teasing, I'm just joking, but it is a serious issue. And again, the people who are saying, oh, it's only neutral feedback, are probably the same people that it hasn't happened to them yet, and then when it does, they're going to be saying the same thing. So I'm trying to get ahead of it. So with that being said, guys, hopefully your sales were solid over the weekend. Let me know in the comments. Feed that YouTube algo. Like, dislike, do something. That's all I ask. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Peace and blessings, guys. Cheers.